So for this video, I'm going to show you guys how we end up making our ceviche de jaiba. So jaiba, you guys can see, is this imitation crab meat. I'll put it this way, so you guys can see it. Probably do it this way, because I didn't make the video sideways. So that's stuff. Now it was frozen. Now it's thawed out, because we put it in water. And we're also going to put some shrimp in there, but we're going to cook our shrimp. I know there's some people that like to put raw shrimp in there and then just let it cook with the lime juice, but nah, not this time. We're not going to try to make aguachiles. So, I barely got this down in the freezer, you guys can see. Packed like a rock. So hopefully, I don't know, in an hour or so it'll thaw out. Now we're going to cook those. So in our ceviche, we're going to put tomatoes, green onions, cucumbers, cilantro, limes, and avocados. Okay, so now I'm going to cut 2 green onions, 2 tomatoes, and then the cucumbers. I'm going to just pull some of the skin off and dice these into really small little pieces and then put them into the surimi, imitation crab meat, for our ceviche. Okay, so here I have chopped up all of the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the onion, and the cilantro. I'm going to wait until last to put the avocado and the lime. And right now, my mom is going to cook the shrimp. Cook, to boil. ¿Como por cuántos minutos más pones el camarón?
Unos 5 minutos o menos. This is quite rápido.
Okay, it's going to be like in less than 10 minutes, the shrimp should be cooked all the way. Okay, so here. So for now, we got a little steamy. So what we ended up doing was we put some salt, tomato, and onion in the water to flavor it. So when we put the shrimp in there, the shrimp will get some type of flavor to it as it's cooking. But we gotta wait a little bit longer so the flavors from everything in there comes out and gives the shrimp that extra yummy flavor. And right now, my mom's gonna add some cilantro also to give it a better flavor. So maybe like in like 3 minutes more, letting that all boil together, then we'll add the shrimp. Okay, so here is the shrimp cooked already. We left them on the stove for like maybe like 7 minutes. This is what it looks like. So we ended up putting some cilantro in there too, just so it can flavor the shrimp a little bit more. And then you guys can see the juice too, like on that one. You can use the juice also, so it's like the shrimp broth. Ooh, it's getting a little steamy. You can also use it as a little extra caldito for the ceviche too. But just mixing them around, just because I'm bored. And also trying to let these cool down a bit. And then also make sure that once your camarones are done cooking, you take off the lid and take them off of the part of the stove where it was cooking because it'll be hot. So that way they don't continue cooking. Because if you overcook your shrimp, they end up being very like chewy, kind of like rubbery. And the consistency of them is kind of icky. At least for me, I don't like my shrimp like that. So they're done. As you guys can see, a little steam coming out. So we're just going to leave them here, let them cool down, and then they will be ready to get chopped up. And we will throw them in the ceviche. Okay, so I just got it out of the fridge, so I put it in there while I was waiting for the shrimp to cook. And as you can see, I have my avocados. So now I'm going to cut these into really small little cubes. And then here's the shrimp. I ended up peeling them and then cutting them in half, but I think I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces. So that way when you start getting like a spoonful to put on your tostada, you don't just end up getting like a lot of just one thing. So that way it's just evenly distributed, I guess.
So when choosing your limes, what I end up doing is I end up squeezing them. And if you guys can see, once I squeeze it, it kind of leaves a little dent on the skin. That's how you know these limes are super ripe and they're juicy. These are the best ones to use when you're making your aguachiles and ceviche.
So when it comes to like cutting all of the ingredients, honestly, it's up to how big you like your your pieces to be. Like me, I like mine to be super small because I don't like getting like a mouthful of like really big pieces of like onion or shrimp or anything like that, because once I put it on my tostada or the saltine crackers, it kind of beats the purpose of trying to get like all the flavors and like all the ingredients, in that one bite. But like I said, it's how you prefer in cutting your food. So when it comes to making the ceviche, honestly, everyone has their own twist and how they like to make it. Some people like to add some of that Maggi like seasoning, little like sauce stuff. It kind of looks like soy sauce, but I don't know what's in it. Some other people like to put pineapple or mango. But like I said, honestly, it's just up to how you prefer it. You can add different like stuff in there. You can either put octopus in there, cooked octopus, or you can put clams or oysters or any kind of like seafood stuff that you like. You can put in it. It just all depends on how well you like to mix your ingredients and flavors together. But for me, I just like it a little simple, and then I just like it extra lemony, so then that way I can add more salt to it if I need it, or more hot peppers. But in this one though, I didn't put any jalapenos in it or any kind of like raw chiles, since in our family not everyone likes to eat chiles. So those, I ended up chopping those aside and then just putting them in a little container, so whoever wanted a little kick of spice on their little tostada of ceviche, they could add it on there. So throughout the video, you guys been seeing me mixing the ceviche a lot. I don't know if you guys can see, but this container thing that I put it in, it's kind of deep. Not really. I know how in the beginning you guys seen that I had 2 packets of the surimi that I was going to use. I only ended up using 1 because not both of those were going to fit into this container. So even though I just used 1 and then adding the rest of the vegetables in it, it kind of filled it up. So, excuse me. So to make it, I guess, evenly like distributed when it comes to like the ingredients and then the lime juice and the salt, I had to make sure I kept mixing it so that way not just a certain part of it got some of the flavors in it and then the other didn't. Something else I forgot to mention was that you have to make sure you leave this in the fridge at least for like 30 minutes, so that way once you start serving it, it's like nice and it's supposed to be like a refreshing type of like, I don't know, I guess you can say a snack, a dinner, lunch, something you can eat. Because if you really eat it when it's kind of hot, like warm, it kind of tastes funny. And I think it has to do with the fact that it's like seafood. But either way, make sure you keep it in the fridge for a while, let it get nice and cold, and then once you start serving it, you will be able to enjoy it even more. So here is the final look of how I ended up serving my tostadas de ceviche. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time.